Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Alexander Howell, and today we're going to do what I've been talking about doing since we left here the first time, and that is going through the construction stage that we are in and taking you all the way through the house. What is not there is definitely the biggest part of it, unfortunately. They've actually taken a lot of the site down. The stuff that wasn't historic and needed to stay, that's come down, and they've opened up pretty much the entire thing, dug out the pool, and they actually had poured and are just waiting for the master bedroom's encasement to cure. So if you want to see what these houses look like in Merida, Mexico, this is a home that we bought in a neighborhood called Tren, which is kind of right on the border of the historic Centro district. And this house is, it's pretty big. It's about 10 meters wide by about 160 to 180 foot long. You're going to notice that it's a little bit different construction than some places down here, but let's take a look and hope you enjoy. By the way, my name is Alexander Howell. Please feel free to visit me at these social media links. At Alexander from KC is normally where you can follow me. If you want to catch up on the pictures of down here, that Instagram link is the best place to find me. So Instagram.com/Alexander from KC. Also, please feel free to go to alexanderhowell.com. If you hit the contact us page, that sends me an email directly. So let's get started. I don't know if you noticed, but I also had a telephone number in there. 816-727-7740 is an easy way to reach me via text. It's a direct to me, to my phone. I've had a lot of people communicate with me through that as well. Quick response time, but it is getting a little slower because a lot of you are sending those. And also feel free to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this video, and hit the little notification bell that lets you know anytime that I go live or one of these videos go live. I'm always there in the chat section waiting with any questions that you might have. All right, guys, so the way that this video is going to go, I'm just going to walk you through. I took a really awesome video of just going through the entire property. It's in 4K high definition, that kind of thing, so I hope that shows up on this. If it doesn't, sorry about that, but that was the way it was recorded, and it is just a walkthrough of the property. I'm going to stop at certain points, keep going, and it's just going to be in the frame. So you'll notice I'm going to go from here to way down here. So that's how this is going to work. I'm just going to stay in the little corner down here, and we're going to go through this video. Now, as you can tell, the house, and I'm looking down here at my computer screen sometimes so that I'm not always looking at you guys, but you can kind of tell that this is the original part of the house. This is exactly what it has looked like. There's a little notification there that says that we are under construction and have all of our permits and everything. The big door, the beautiful orange tile, the door is probably going to stay. The orange tile is going to be completely refaced. We've got a couple of designs that we're looking at and pretty excited about. This is what is so neat to me, is that this is the front of the house. This is all people see. So let's go through it a bit. So if you'll notice at the bottom of that door, there's about 4 inches to kind of mess with. And that is actually going to be raised to concrete level so that the flooding that sometimes happens in the city during the rainy season will just hit that, and it won't have any issue going into the house. So if you are thinking about building a home, make sure that you talk to your architect, your contractors, whoever might be a part of the building process, and make sure that you are set up to where when streets flood or anything like that occurs, you bring everything up to the point where nothing is going to come into your home. We talked about that this time, and we're very excited that that's happening. All right, so let's go inside. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to point out here is, if you see the vertical beams in the very back of the property that have a little concrete hang, that's actually the very back of the property. That's going to be the master bedroom. We're going to go over that in just a second, or in a little bit, I should say. But the cool thing is, when you walk into the door of this house, everything is going to be glass, from the courtyard to courtyard entrances, from the kitchen and dining room entry. All that's going to be glass, up to and including the master bedroom back there where all those vertical 2x4s are. All of it's going to be glass. So with the moment that you step into the door of this home, you'll be able to see all the way to the back of the property, basically to the master bedroom, but not beyond there where the bathroom is, of course. A little privacy there as needed. But that is one of the things I like about this property, is you have about 180 feet back of pure view of the property. So the moment that you walk in the door, it's going to be a sight to behold. So you can see all the mortar, all the bricks. The columns we're thinking about keeping them, but more than likely they're going to have to go. They've been pretty badly damaged. See all the construction materials that they have. This is going to be the media room, which, if you've seen the other video where I go through the actual home plans, which is going to be right at the top of the screen. So look, there it is. If you guys want to see that, feel free. I actually go through all the layout that you're going to see in this video. So maybe watch that one first and then come to this video, and you'll kind of see how it looks. One thing I will tell you, that as we go through this, This camera, for whatever reason, it's a great camera on my phone. Like I was saying, it takes 4K 60 frames per second pictures, but it's not like a really high quality lens where you can kind of show the actual size of the room. This is definitely a little bit different. It doesn't show how big the rooms are. This is actually a massive room, and you can kind of tell that because I'm standing behind the entrance, and you can see all the construction material that's in there, and it has tons of room to expand. So just know it's a little small, but we're going to keep going forward. There's a big room, but it just looks a little small. So you kind of see the height of the ceilings there. If you're looking at the reason why some of the concrete looks pretty chipped, the main reason for that is they had tile on, and every time they pulled the tile off, it was tiled, 3/4 of the way up the wall or 2/3 of the way up the wall. So that's what's going on there. So we're working really hard on the project. So this room is right now the first bedroom. Now the first bedroom is actually not going to be that anymore. We're keeping the same major walls, the walls around it, but it's going to be split in half. The half to the right is going to be a laundry room, storage room area. The half to the left is going to be a full bathroom with dual vanity for the bedroom next to it. And actually the two bedrooms are going to each have their own full bath. So let's keep going. And that's where walking, that's where the first bedroom is. Right there. This is going to be a bedroom, and then it'll walk directly out onto the courtyard, which is right here, which obviously is beautiful, right? Again, go to that video if you want to see. This guy in the blue shirt and the mask is Henry Ponce. That is our architect, and he is one of the coolest guys in the world, super nice, and you're about to see just how welcoming he is to seeing us be happy with this construction.
Second video.
So we're passing by the second bedroom. There it is.
Trying to avoid the camera.
This bathroom. So this wall was completed when we were there, and that was the only thing that they had, or that was all that they had completed up to that point. Right now, we visited there yesterday, which was about 4 or 5 days in between. They already had this wall and the room completely done and ready to go for the pouring of the ceiling concrete. So the guys worked fast. So you see right on the next property, they have a little window over there that you probably saw. And then right here, you'll see that there's just a big box in the ground. That is actually going to be where the city water is going to go into our cistern, and then we will have a high pressure system to get water to the rest of the house. So no faucets in the entire house, no toilets in the entire house, no showers, anything like that. That's going to not have high pressure water, which is something that was really high on our list. And if you're looking to build, I'd suggest that you have an architect that really knows these systems to make sure that you don't build this beautiful home and then all of a sudden your sink doesn't have any water pressure. There's the cistern, and you can kind of tell here we're going from the courtyard into the actual kitchen, which is bigger on one side than the other because one, it has a half bath right there at the edge of the courtyard, and then next to it, kind of where this pile of rubble is to the right, there's going to be our pantry. So our pantry is kind of like the other side where there's a bathroom and the laundry room. This is going to be bathroom and pantry, pretty much splitting the duty of the one big room. And then our kitchen is going to look like if you took a quarter out of a square, if that makes sense. A quarter of the square out. It's just going to be kind of a big fat L. But one part is going to be the entry and then kind of bar area. And then the next part will be kitchen and dining room. And you can see all of those plans on my Instagram at Alexander from KC. So continuing on, you can see that they've built a lot of different walls here. They've used some of the others, but this will all be brand new wall on each side. It's just they're building it in sections to make sure that everything's secure and it's going along with the plan, especially with plumbing and that kind of thing. So again, I'm in the kitchen at this point and about to transition. If you see that number 14 and you go up and to the left, you'll see a support beam. That support beam pretty much separates the kitchen from the outdoor patio space, which is going to be pretty sizable. It's going to run the whole length, similar to everything else, or a whole width of the property, similar to everything else, and be about the same size as the kitchen with an overhang. And actually, on top of that will be another area just like that in our second story, which will run there. So looking back, this is basically the kitchen. And if you'll notice, the half wall there and the wall behind it, most of that ceiling stuff is going to be scraped clean. And then they'll put the second story on top of that. So if you look at the house behind us, or technically next door to us that has solar panels on it, we're going to be a little bit higher than that place. So it's definitely it's definitely going to be fun. We've got a lot of stuff to work with, and you can see how high some of those rebar pieces are going. But that is actually going to extend and be a second story on top of ours. Moving on, that's the patio set. You see the guy, I think that he's doing the well right there. This is the first view that you really have of our pool, which is going to be 8 meters wide, and it kind of goes in and out, but it's a fairly wide pool as well. It won't be as big as it looks here, and actually it looks bigger when you see the pictures of people inside of it. It's fairly deep, but obviously they have to concrete around and make sure that it's ready to go and then paint and all that kind of thing. But that is where the pool is going to go, and you'll notice, I think here, just how far back we're walking to get to the back of the master bedroom. So again, pretty sizable lot. There's pretty much going to be one walkway between each area and a garden on each side. That wall will go a little bit higher. The people next door had slots in the walls for airflow, but unfortunately we're going to have to go up because they completed work on their side and didn't really make it look good on ours. So all of this that I'm walking through is going to be garden. I'm walking at a pretty normal pace, and it takes a while to get from one side of the property to the other. And you kind of see now with people in the background just how long this area is. So we're going back. I'm going to hold my phone over what is about, can't tell from here, but that's about a 50-meter drop into water. That was the old well that was a part of the property that I believe we are using for when pool water goes in or out. That's going to be the dump space so they can then filter down to an even deeper well, which we're using for the pool. Again, these houses are absolutely amazing because they have so many different systems on the property that all work in connection with each other. But stuff like this is something I'm learning every single day when I talk to Henry or one of the people that's on the property. Okay, continuing on. Now here is, back up just a second here, so you missed kind of a critical point. So here's the master bedroom that we saw all the way at the front of the property. You see that there's a big square in front of it. It actually has its own patio, and that is where the patio is going to be set. So the garden will all have to be built up a little bit. The patio will have a terrace above it, just something to kind of keep the brightness of the sun out. You can see those pictures again online or in the other video. But this is all going to be part of the master bedroom. And then on the other side of it, you can see where all the pipe is laid. They've actually cleared that out for draining at this point, or to put in all the drains to the master bedroom. But the drains right there kind of symbolize where the other side of the garden is going to be. So here's the construction site. They've obviously done all of the cinder block. They've poured the concrete. They kind of done the first rough patching. You can see that the walls, if you look at where the cinder block is, you can see that they're pretty rough. They'll do another coat, and then they'll do a smooth coat, and that'll be the final coat. But it takes a few to get to what they want. And then there's running lines through it and everything else. So I wasn't able to go into the master bathroom back here, but if you look straight ahead where the ladder is, that is going to be a lock-off closet. So basically all of our stuff can be in there if we have Airbnb visitors. The closet that has the two 2x4s that you see, that is actually going to be accessible to anybody that stays at our property. And then to the left of that, you can see where it goes back a little bit further. That's going to be either the shower or the toilet. The other one is going to be on the other side. They both back up into a beautiful green space that we're going to have back there as well. And there will be an outdoor shower too. So when you're sitting and doing your business or standing and doing your business, you'll be able to see a beautiful garden. And when you want to shower, you'll be able to see the beautiful garden and actually shower out there. So it's going to be kind of neat. Obviously, it's just for us, which is nice, but thought I would share that with you. And I'll try to get another video of it when I go back there. But unfortunately, I just wasn't able to do it at this point. There were way too many people back there working, and I did not want to bother them because I've been that guy on construction sites, and it is a pain in the behind to have somebody get in the way of your work when you're really involved in something. But on the other side of that, kind of in between those two areas, is where the sinks are going to be and the mirrors and that kind of thing. So pretty neat. I'm just going to do a little turnaround. This side is going to be, those are just lines for the sinks and that kind of thing. We're going to have just kind of desk set up, kind of dresser area hanging out. Oh, I did go. There you go. So there's the shower. Those are where the guys were working. That is where the sinks are going to be. On the other side is either the shower. You can see the shower entry or the toilet entry. So I'm glad I went back there. That's awesome. Cool. So then, see that garden area, and then just kind of turn around to the back of the house. And this is you basically standing on what will be our master bedroom bed, and king size bed, and then boom, we've reached the end of our video. And you can see again how far back the little door is, because the little door is open and it's barely a bit of light. But you can see all the way back just how much ground you cover. And now you can really see the distance between the master and the pool area to give you a little bit of connection on that. You can also see that when the second story is built up, this view is going to be significantly different, not only for the back of the home, but for the courtyard as well. The one thing we weren't able to do is go all the way to the front of the city. Because it is in a historic area, they want the facade to look as close to the original as possible. We get a little bit of leeway because they messed up with tile and that kind of thing, so we're going to finish it to look historic, but they didn't want the second story to be visible from there, so we had to push it back on the property just a bit. Luckily, that should give us room for solar panels and that kind of thing. So guys, that's it. I'm going to transition right back to the other side of this video, and we'll end up, hang with me though. So as I've stated several times, the budget with COVID and everything else, and obviously wood prices, even though most of this place is concrete, prices have increased significantly. Now, we don't have the exact dollar figure of where it's going to go up because we signed everything out. We have the materials purchased, but I don't want to give you guys a number until we're completely done. I said, I believe somewhere around 400. My guess is with everything that we're putting into the house, especially when we get to what's filling the house, we're going to be significantly over budget, which to be honest, was something that we all kind of expected. COVID has really kind of hit the supply lines pretty hard. Even though there's not a lot of wood in the property, wood has gone up so significantly, especially down here, that it just is what it is. Paint, electronics down here are known to be expensive, and I'm an electronics guy, so that's kind of what I'm looking to have anyway. But that's where we are. Obviously, once we're final and done and probably back here again looking at materials, I'll do another one of these videos to show you guys an update. But thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Alexander Howell. Please feel free to visit me at alexanderhowell.com. Send me an email through the Contact Us page, any one of these social media links. And again, if you want to see the pictures and updates and that kind of thing, just pictures around Merida, feel free to go to my Instagram at AlexanderFromKC or text me 816-727-7740. And also, thank you for being here this long, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you were, and if you did, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, little notification bell. That lets you know anytime the videos goes out, and it also helps to get this video out to more people, which is the freest way that you can help me out. So again, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. And from Merida, from this wonderful place, peace.